Their eyes are dead and their lips are slack, and their words can scarcely be heard.
Do you remember our old ecstasy?
Why would you have me remember it?
Does your heart still beat at my mere name? Do you still see my soul in your dreams?
No.
Oh, the sweet days of unspeakable joy when we joined our lips together.
It's possible.
How blue the sky and how great our hope.
Hope has fled, defeated towards the dark sky.
Tel, il marchait dans les avoines folles, et la nuit seule, on remplit le pardon.
So they walked in the tall grass, and the night alone heard their murmured words.
Our next performer needs no introduction, as he's been with us before. He encompasses an array of world cultures, styles, and idioms in a multifaceted display of virtuosity. An experience never to be forgotten, the accordion as you have never heard it. Let's hear it once again for Nick Ariando.
and the door, locked from the inside, showed no signs of violence. He previewed the previous minutes in his mind. Maybe he'd had a strange dream. It might have been a nightmare.
No, I remember it now. I had this dream frequently.
He'd had that dream a lot of times, but it never produced that fright in him.
This happened to me somewhere in real life.
He felt a pain in his left leg. He dreamt that on his middle toe,
Why must I wearing such tight shoes?
he had a tumor. In a natural way, and as if he were used to it, he took a screwdriver out of his pocket and extracted the head of the tumor with it. It was a very long worm, which came out by itself with no discomfort or pain. His hands felt cold. With his eyes closed, trying to break the rising tempo of his breathing, he tried to find some trivial field so he could sink into the dream that had been interrupted minutes before. He could think,
In 3 hours, I must get out of the funeral parlor and cover the expenses.
he wasn't exactly sure how long he'd been like that, between that noble surface of dreams and realities. But he did remember that suddenly, as if his throat had been cut by the slash of a knife, he'd given a start in bed, and felt that his twin brother, his dead brother, was standing beside him.
Yes, I can see that.
It was then that he thought of the tumor that had ceased to pain him.
Maybe I, like my brother, have a tumor inside me. First it will branch out, growing larger in my stomach like a fetus.
He put his hands on his stomach to contain the sharp pain.
Yes, maybe I too, like my brother who just died, have a tumor growing at the root of my viscera.
He remembered the viscera preserved in absolute alcohol. Formaldehyde.
Where is that smell coming from?
It's the only way to contain rot.
If we may have formaldehyde in our veins, we'd be like those anatomical specimens submerged in absolute alcohol.
Yes, they were twin brothers, exact, whom no one could distinguish at first sight. But now the terrible reality was climbing up along his back like an invertebrate animal, as if his body had suddenly been sliced in two by an axe.
Frothy mouth. That's how I remember it.
His hands were now intensely cold, with a long, dehumanized coldness. The smell of formaldehyde became stronger now. His flesh had become soft, adipose, and he thought he could feel a blue substance covering him all over. Nothing worried him after that.
Why not? Everything is equal now.
Only his own death came between him and his grave. Resigned, he listened to the raindrop, thick, heavy, exact, as it dripped in the other world, in the mistaken and absurd world of rational creatures.